Bienvenidos a Conquistadores de América, soy Edmundo Treviño y el día de hoy vamos a hablar de un tema que se nos puso viral en un video y tengo la oportunidad de estar con una verdadera experta en este tema, que es el crédito corporativo. Qué importante es aprender de esto. Yo lo acabo de descubrir hace muy poco, tenía muchas dudas al respecto y la verdad es que pues esta persona me voló la cabeza y dije, tenemos que hacerlo público y me da la oportunidad de estar aquí grabando este podcast. Primer podcast que lo vamos a intentar hacer bilingüe, vamos a tratar de hacerlo ágil porque ella no habla español, o sí habla un poquito de español, pero vamos a preguntarle en inglés para tener mejores respuestas y entonces vamos a irlas contestando. Pues estamos con Ginger Podcast. Did I pronounce it right?
Perfect.
Okay.
Maria Bohemia.
Okay. And she works for a company named G. Galt, experts in helping companies develop corporate credit, right?
That's exactly right. Jay Galt. And it's from the famous character in Atlas Shrugged, the book. A lot of us had to read it back in the day. So it's all about entrepreneurship.
Perfecto. Pues vamos a hacerle unas preguntas que yo de hecho las preparé porque me di cuenta de las necesidades que tenemos como empresa. Entonces le voy a hacer unas preguntas a Ginger y vamos a irlas traduciendo rápidamente. La primera, ¿cuál es la diferencia entre el crédito personal y el crédito corporativo? What's the difference between personal and corporate credit?
Okay. Well, personal credit, everybody knows what their personal credit score is. It's from 0 to 850. You pretty much know where you are, what's good credit is over 750 and that kind of thing. Business credit is something that is also available for businesses, but you have to intentionally set it because most of the companies don't even report to the business credit. So you want to get a 0 out of a 0 to 100 score. You want to be in 80 to 90 range. And that is where the C parts and angels sing. It just becomes very easy for us to do business.
Okay. And the same agencies that do the personal credit are the ones that do
business?
Poquito diferente. So you've got TransUnion and Experian and Equifax on your personal, and on your corporate credit, you have Dun & Bradstreet, the DNB number, which some people have, they don't. We help you set that up if you don't. And then there's a business version of both Equifax and Experian.
Ok, pues como lo pueden escuchar y lo voy a estar traduciendo para los que no hablan inglés, pues el crédito corporativo no es como el personal que va de 0 a 850, que las agencias son Equifax, TransUnion y what's the third one I forgot?
Equifax, Experian,
exacto, y TransUnion. Entonces son esas tres, pero en el término corporativo hay un número que incluso en trámites gubernamentales a veces te lo piden, el DNB, el Dun & Bradstreet. Esa también es una agencia, pero especializada en crédito corporativo, y por ahí hay otras dos que, importante lo que dice Ginger, el crédito corporativo lo tienes que buscar tú, no es que él te va a encontrar. Entonces, por eso pienso yo que la mayoría de las empresas no lo tienen. So you said basically that the corporate credit, you have to look for it. It's not like these agencies are going to start tracking your credit. No, you have to intentionally look to develop your credit.
Exactly. And the banks aren't going to tell you the secret or anybody else. Basically, only 7% of all vendors, that includes, your credit cards, your banks, report to the business corporate credit. They do not report unless you know for a fact you hunt them out, which we do. We already have the partners, and we will connect you, okay, with the people we know are going to report to the business. And that's how we help you to grow. But yes, it's amazing. If only 7% of the world out there is reporting it, it's amazing anybody has any corporate credit. And most people don't, or they have a very little number.
Exactly. Lo que está diciendo Ginger, y es bien importante, solamente el 7% de las empresas están reportando a los buros de crédito corporativos, lo que significa que la mayoría de las empresas, y créanme que me he dado cuenta, no tenemos crédito por eso, porque nadie nos está reportando y es algo que tenemos que trabajar nosotros. Ginger, if I develop my personal credit, the banks or these vendors that I want to get credit from, are they gonna stop requesting my social security number to process the credit application?
Great question. Great question. At first, people are going to still look at your personal credit. However, when we start the program and you become a member with us, that's all we're going to focus on. Eventually, we may be able to move some of that personal credit that you have personally guaranteed over to your LLC. And that's the whole goal, is that by the end of the year or so, we've got you so structured that everything you're doing and spending your money is being reported to the corporate credit. And you don't have anything, we're going to try to untether you from your personal guarantees. I mean, that's why you got a company, is an LLC, to protect you from your personal losses.
Exactly.
If you put your social security number on anything, even a business credit card, if it has your company name and you think you're building credit on your Spark card, if your name is on it, you personally guaranteed it. So that's what we help our members kind of get unentangled.
Ok. Esto es importante. Me han preguntado y yo lo he visto. I have seen that personally, Ginger. So every time I have to go for the bank to request a line of credit or something, it's always your personal finances, your personal social security information, and then you're a guarantee of the loan and everything. So it's always tracking you. It feels like I'm not really doing any credit, right, on the business itself. So, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, let me translate this. So, importante aquí lo que comenta Ginger es que si desarrollamos el crédito corporativo, gradualmente vamos a ir separando nuestro número de seguro social, nuestras finanzas personales de los de la empresa. Si finalmente abrir una LLC es una de las principales razones por las cuales queremos separar nuestro riesgo personal del riesgo del negocio. Si no lo separamos también en el crédito, en realidad no estamos cumpliendo al 100% el objetivo. Entonces, con los servicios que la empresa, que ellos ofrecen en J-Galt, pues ellos poco a poco van logrando separar y que esos créditos que en teoría estaban para tu empresa, pero en realidad están personales, poco a poco se van a ir pasando en realidad a la empresa y de esa manera vas a ir separando esa responsabilidad. Insisto, no hablamos de ser irresponsables ni de no hacer frente a tus obligaciones, en este caso crediticias, pero es muy importante pues que vayamos separando esto. I get so excited just to think about it, because one of the things that I noticed, and you made me the favor to pull a couple of credit scores from two companies I own. One of them has 22 years already, and it has just gone to a 50-something score. I mean, and you say that 80 to 90 is where we should be to start listening to the songs of the angels, right? And and I'm just on 54. That means it's going to take me another 20 years to get to 80 or 90. And the other company is just barely on a 30-something, and it has already 8 years in business, and it has been my most successful business with record sales and everything, and I just have a 30-something.
It's very debilitating to a lot of business owners to go through the process at the bank to get a line of credit. And they get led along maybe for 6 or 8 months. And then they say, okay, now I need to see your tax returns. I need to see this. And then they get declined still. How does that make you feel? Well, the business owner never finds out why they got denied. So they start thinking, well, maybe 8 years isn't long enough. Or, I knew I needed to have my sales a little bit higher. No, it is a complete smoke and mirrors. Not that the banks, I mean, we do business with the banks, but for the small and medium-sized businesses, you're really between a rock and a hard place unless you intentionally do this, because the most you might get is maybe 20,000. Some bigger companies might get 500,000, but you're tied to the bank. Your business is tied to the bank. Heaven forbid you want to go buy a commercial piece of property. With a 23-year-old company, you should have had the buying power of a monster. So that's the short and the long of it is getting control. And if you have an LLC, the whole idea was you to have that corporate shield, excuse me. And when you have that and you've personally guaranteed something, it just goes away. So we want to help the small and medium-sized businesses get what they deserve, do what Walmart does. You know, they are using somebody else's money. They've negotiated to pay them in 90 days. We come in and buy all the stuff, so they have plenty of money to pay their bills, right? But our smaller businesses are out of their pocket all the time. That's why a lot of times their personal credit scores are terrible, because they've just been using everything to keep the business afloat. This is a smart way to do it. It's not an overnight success. You've got to commit to this. And basically, you're going to get somebody that's going to walk you through this. You're not going to do it on your own. You don't have to figure out which credit card should I go to that are going to report. We've got that down.
Esto que comenta Ginger es importante. Walmart a los proveedores les paga 90 días y nosotros vamos y pagamos cash todo. O sea, nosotros le estamos pagando la fiesta a Walmart, y aún así Walmart tiene un montón de crédito. Y los pequeños negocios, los medianos negocios, no tenemos crédito. Y vamos al banco y le pedimos una línea de crédito y nos las niegan. Oye, pero pues yo tengo buenas ventas, tengo varios años. Pues sí, pero no tienes crédito corporativo. Y luego, algo que está diciendo Ginger y lo he vivido yo personalmente, porque inclusive en un negocio, este negocio de 20 y tantos años, tenía una línea de crédito, me la canceló el banco, dijo, no, ya no te puedo dar crédito, te lo voy a volver préstamo, pero ya no es línea de crédito. Son cosas bien diferentes y tenemos que también aprender de eso. Ya alguna vez platicaremos con algún banquero, pero otro tema importante es que no es eterno, sino que lo tienes que trabajar constantemente. Bueno, dicho esto, tengo varias compañías, en una no me han dado crédito, en otras me dieron $10,000, en otra un poco más, en otra, pero es muy complicado lograr que te den esos créditos. La mayoría de los pequeños negocios pues están siendo rechazados por los bancos, y qué bonito sería apalancarnos de los préstamos para poder crecer. Entonces, pero qué importante es separarlo. ¿Por qué? Porque cada vez que tú pides crédito para la empresa, pero estás poniendo tu número de seguro social, estás afectando tu propio score personal. Entonces acá puedes acabar arruinándolo por tratar de ayudar el negocio. Y esto es algo bien importante y también por eso deberíamos de separarlo. Ginger, what you just said at the end, I seen it. My credit score, even though I've been also 20-something years here in the States, I have always paid everything on time, the whole time. I learn about the credit score, how it works, how things, what things affect you, what other don't, and stuff like that. One of the things I learned is that every time that somebody checks your credit, a hard check affects you. So you just have basically like 1 or 2 a year. If you go to 3 or 4, it starts going down your score. So my score cannot be perfect because of that, because I own 7, 8 companies. I have 3 or 4 line of credits. I have this and this and this. Since they renew every year, they are checking my personal credit like 7, 8 times a year. So it's impossible that I'm going to have perfect personal credit because of the businesses, right? So if we split it, that will be different.
Well, if I might just explain something that I just learned, is really also how does the personal differ from the corporate credit, how they look at what's a good risk or not. With personal credit, if you use too much of your credit or if you have too many inquiries, it goes down. So the more you use on your personal credit, the worse it is. So that's kind of counterintuitive, because really and truly, if you use your credit and you pay it off or early every month, which we help you do that, all of a sudden you're not affected by how many people. First of all, corporate credit is public knowledge. So every time somebody checks your credit, it does not hurt you. That's number one. That's awesome. And they're also not going to be dinging you for how much you use. It's exactly opposite. You pay your bills on time or early, they're just going to keep increasing it to as long as you pay your bills. And that's what we train everybody to do early. A few days early makes a big difference. You just go. So you're graded on two different ways. And with the corporate credit, it's much more a fair way to do it because your business is, you are going to need cash flow. 280,000 businesses went out of business last year for cash flow. So what we're doing is we're helping people get that cash flow to where it's going, it's part of the business and everything's running really good. It's not to give you like go shopping at Target and get $1,000 worth of stuff. This is to help you business run smoothly.
And something that I have learned as well, you can have sales, but if you don't have cash flow, you go bankrupt. So sometimes you can even be losing money, but if you are keeping a cash flow, you can survive. So the name of the game, why we are going out of business, is because of cash flow. And this can help big time, of course. Lo que comenta Ginger es bien importante, que finalmente el crédito corporativo es algo público. Entonces, cada vez que alguien va y revisa cómo está tu crédito, no va a afectar ni el score de la compañía, ni obviamente ni el tuyo, que eso es algo que a mí sí me estaba ocurriendo. Yo no puedo tener crédito personal perfecto porque los bancos, como tengo líneas de crédito en varias empresas, todos los años me están revisando mi crédito personal. Y cada vez que alguien te revisa, le llaman hard inquiries, le llaman, sí, como una búsqueda o un chequeo duro de tu crédito extensivo para ver cómo andas, si estás pagando o no estás pagando. El problema es que nunca puedes tener un crédito perfecto a título personal si te lo están checando a causa de las líneas de crédito que tienes en tu negocio. Entonces es bien importante separarlo. Y esto obviamente nos ayuda por el tema de, no nada más el crédito personal, también en el de la empresa. Pero el de la empresa, el corporativo, no funciona exactamente igual que el personal. Entonces, lo que pasa con esto es que si tú, por ejemplo, pagas anticipadamente unos días, etcétera, pues tu crédito gradualmente va subiendo y va subiendo y va subiendo. Insisto, así como el crédito personal no se hace de un día para otro, tampoco el corporativo, pero sí lo podemos ir haciendo con empresas como J. Galt, que ya les voy a pasar datos o me pueden mandar mensajes si alguien quiere aprender o dice yo quiero la asesoría que me ayuden a crecer el crédito corporativo, pues ahí estará obviamente Ginger. Ginger, if I get an 80, 90 score, because it goes 0 to 100, right? So if I get an 80, 90 score, what does that mean? I'm going to be able to get credit. I'm going to be able to get better rates, more, larger amount of loans.
Well, you're in the driver's seat now, which most small and medium-sized businesses do not stay in the driver's seat. We're kind of at the beck and call of the bigger banks. What's beautiful about this, when you're 80, 90 and above, all of a sudden you get to choose your people that you're going to do business with. They're not choosing you. You're not begging them. You're going to get lower rates. It's usually 10 times the amount of credit than you would ever get on your personal guarantee, 10 times. And you're also in the driver's seat. I love this part. It's just not them checking your credit. Guess what? You know who you want to do business with. You can now bet your bottom dollar that if you want to get bigger jobs, you send them and let them see your business credit score. They're going to want to do business with you. So it opens up, if you want to grow, it opens up a lot more opportunity. And believe me, you can turn around and check them out because you may not want to do business with them. If this is somebody that never pays their workers or, just filed bankruptcy. So you're much more in command of your business and making good business decisions.
Ok. Importante lo que dice Ginger aquí es que si desarrollamos un score de 80, 90 en nuestro crédito corporativo, pues nos pueden prestar hasta 10 veces más que lo que nos prestarían a título personal. Ojo con esto. Número 1. Número 2, obviamente mejores tasas. Número 3, proveedores nos van a buscar para querer hacer negocio con nosotros. Cuando ahora nosotros les rogamos, ahora se va a voltear la tortilla y van a decir, no, yo quiero hacer negocios con ellos. Qué importante. Y al mismo tiempo, si aprendemos del crédito corporativo, nosotros también podemos checar a nuestros proveedores y a nuestros clientes para saber con quién estamos haciendo negocio, porque este es un tema importantísimo. Podemos saber con quién estamos haciendo negocio y decir, no, a esa empresa no le voy a soltar nada de crédito porque no me va a pagar. Ya conozco su score de crédito. Entonces voy a saber cómo funcionan. Very interesting that we can also learn not just to help our business ask for money, but also who should I be doing business with? That's something interesting. When we're looking for customers, we don't care. It's like, oh, yeah, I got a new customer. Pay me in 30 days, no problem. And then they disappear because you didn't check them. So I think it's very important also to learn that we should be using these kind of tools also to check other businesses.
It really changes the whole way perspective that you look at your business and others look at you. And it gives you the power. Just imagine how many more jobs or projects all of our people could take if they knew they didn't have to worry about if they weren't going to get paid in 30 days, they couldn't pay their people. Imagine that. And that's where the dreams really happen. Most business people are trying to just do good. They want to grow for their family. They want to pay their bills. And to know that because their business is stable, they pay their business, they pay their bills on time, and then they have made it a dedication to have great credit, just like on their personal. You'll probably have much better even on your business because you're not going to get dinged every time you use it. It's just a wonderful thing. It puts the power back with you. Of course, if you don't pay your bills on it, they'll report that quicker than you can believe. So we obviously are going to be good stewards of this credit. But yeah, it's great. You can take bigger projects now, and that's how you scale and grow. You don't have to turn down those jobs anymore because you might not get, you're not going to have the cash flow.
Exactly. Qué importante es tener el crédito corporativo desarrollado para abrir más oportunidades, para apalancarnos, para trabajar con proveedores pues más grandes, con clientes más grandes, poder ofrecer crédito, poder cobrar. Creo que nos abre muchísimo la mente, como bien dice Ginger. If I have line of credits in my bank, are they reporting
to these agencies?
Sometimes, probably not. If they're for sure not reporting to the business. If only 7% in the world, they're not probably going to be reporting it. But if you are intentional about it and you have a good relationship, you can certainly call your banker and say, I need you to do this, but as you grow and you're now an 80 or 90, you insist on it. You're not going to take money from a Visa that won't report it. I mean, you're trained to do that now. So it's a waste of your credit strength not to do business, but it would take you 10 years to hunt and peck all those people that we already have relationships with that we know are in partnership with us to report it. We take that worry out from under you.
Okay.
Solamente el 7% de los bancos y compañías grandes que ofrecen crédito reportan a los scores de crédito corporativo, lo cual significa que nos están limitando o nos están prohibiendo prácticamente que tengamos un buen score de crédito. No nos están dejando crecer, lo están dejando para los grandes y las pequeñas y medianas empresas pues tienen acceso a esto, pero no sabemos cómo utilizarlo y por eso estamos aquí platicando al respecto. What kind of financing can I find if I get like a top score in my credit corporate? What kind of things can I request as a loan or what can you find about it?
Well, it really depends on what type of business you are in. And this is really helpful for people that have a lot of business expenses. So what we do is we help the business owner figure out, okay, I need $200,000 worth of gas a month. I need to buy computers once a quarter. Whatever you're going to be buying every month, we are just going to put this with the right vendors so that you're able to utilize it. For instance, we had a lady trucker and she had zero credit because, like I said, she was using and paying off her American Express to the tune of $200,000 a month, but she had zero credit because people didn't even know she existed. So once she started we helped her get up and at 'em with everything. She has $1 million worth of credit line, and she can pick and choose wherever she wants. Again, she's got the power. And I think that, so it's hard to say, well, if you get this done, you're going to have $200,000 worth of credit. It's obviously still going to be a percentage of what your sales are. An $800,000 a year company is going to have a different number than a 5 million or a 50 million. It's all relative, but there's not going to be very many companies that are really going to scale and grow if they don't have this, if they don't pay attention to this, because it's really hard to get bigger when you don't, or to even cover. Some of us, next time we have a pandemic, a lot of people weren't prepared. I think the people that are doing this now are going to be a lot more prepared to go with the flow a little bit.
Exactly. ¿Qué podemos comprar o en qué podemos utilizar estos créditos cuando desarrollemos nuestro score? Ella me da un ejemplo de una compañía de transportes, una persona que le metía $200,000 de gastos a la tarjeta American Express y resulta que no tenía absolutamente nada de crédito corporativo porque la tarjeta no estaba reportando, a pesar de que cada mes pagaba a tiempo $200,000. Ahora, pues ya tiene un crédito de $1 millón, ha podido crecer, ha podido invertir en equipo, en su empresa. Y pues como dice Ginger, no deja de ser relativo el qué tanto crédito vas a obtener en dinero, porque depende obviamente de otros factores como tus ventas, márgenes, etcétera. No es lo mismo una empresa que vende $800,000 al año a una empresa que vende $5 millones al año. Pero definitivamente las puertas se van a abrir para crecer. Okay, 2-3 more questions before we finish. If I open an LLC today, how much time will it take me to go to a decent score?
Well, we help our members, actually, if they don't have an LLC or EIN, we help them do that. So that starts day one. You're assigned your very own credit analyst who's going to walk you through the 7 steps and make sure that each step we're hitting all the targets. We need to make sure everything matches. We need to sign you up with the credit bureaus, and we start out slow with different credit. I mean, it literally is a building block thing, and the whole way we're going to be checking on that. But what's different when you are building your credit on the corporate side, I'm going to tell you a little secret, and your listeners a little secret. When you go and you're doing personal loans, or they're asking your company at the big banks to, sign off personal guarantee, there's 125 reasons why they're going to retire. There's 125 reasons why they're going to decline you. And guess what? They're not going to tell you that. You're just got to wonder it. So let me tell you some of the things that it's an automatic decline. And a lot of this you can fix and do yourself. If you have a Gmail account, you have tomstrucking@gmail.com, automatic decline. Why? Banks are looking for, make sure that you're a real business and that you're not just in your, backyard with a Gmail account. You cannot have a UPS store that's got a fake address. This is the funniest one. If you're old enough to remember 1411 directory assistance, that's how we used to all get our phone numbers for each other. If you do not have a 411 directory assistant listing online, automatic decline. So these are all the things that we do for you as we're holding your hand. There's a lot of things that we do. So when you actually do apply for our partners' credit cards, you are guaranteed to be approved. And it's not for $1 million. It is a stair step. I mean, your first one may be for $1,100, but it usually doubles and triples as you go down. And like I said, when you get up to tier 3 and tier 4, you're dancing in the street.
And what kind of time are you looking for?
9 months. Well, we guarantee 9 months to 9 to 12 months. Okay. So, but we've seen people like the company that you already have a 50 something. It may only take us 3 or 4 months to get, to 80. But since most of our businesses are starting down at 20 or what have you, or 0, that's why we need it for 9 months to your. But here's the deal. If we don't hit it, we give you 100% of your money back. That's how much we believe in it. So, and we haven't had to give anybody's money back. We have helped 43,000 businesses. Can you believe that? And people don't, this is like the coolest thing that nobody knows about. So this company was 13 years old. They have had major success. My boss bought it 3 years ago. We've rebranded it. We've tripled, quadrupled, 700% growth in 2 years. So we're really helping a lot of people. And, you know, you don't have to be an expert. You just need to go to the experts. And most businessmen know that. They go to the people that are the very best at what they do.
Sometimes it's not sometimes, I would say most of the times is way more expensive to try to do it your own all the time when you can have super nitro power to put in the engine of your company and make it happen faster. It could be cheaper because you are paying more on rates and not having the credit than when you should pay one of these companies, for sure. So, existen 125 razones por las cuales un banco te va a rechazar cuando le pidas un crédito. Y aquí te va la primera. Si le pones que tu correo electrónico es juanito@gmail.com, adiós, no hay crédito. Si tienes un buzón de UPS Store como tu buzón, como tu dirección fiscal, adiós, no hay crédito. Y hay otras 123 razones más por las cuales te pueden decir que no en los bancos. Si quieres saber más, mándame mensaje. Ya, estoy haciendo un TikTok aquí ya porque está buenísimo esto. It's extremely good, Ginger, what you said about the 125 reasons. 125 razones que los bancos no te dicen por qué. Ni siquiera te dicen por qué te dijeron que no al crédito, lamentablemente. Solamente te dicen, no tuviste crédito, I'm sorry. Si quieres pedir más información, mándanos una carta. Nadie te dice nada, pero pues te rechazan. Entonces pierdes muchas oportunidades. La compañía J. Galt, donde está Ginger, ella comenta que se han crecido exponencialmente en los últimos años. El crédito. Para tú desarrollar crédito corporativo, si tienes un experto que te acompañe, te vas a tardar entre 9 y 12 meses en llegar a un 80 de calificación. Si tienes una empresa en cero, si hoy abres una empresa dentro de 9 o 12 meses, con la compañía de un experto como J. Galt, vas a tener un 80 calificación. Y ahí es donde empiezan a cantar las sirenas increíblemente. Empiezas a bailar en la calle porque te prestan lo que tú necesites para seguir creciendo. Y garantizado. Si no les funciona, te devuelven tu dinero. Qué interesante. Hablando de garantías extraordinarias, que ya saben que a mí me apasiona mucho ese tema. Yo tengo una empresa como en un score de 50 y tantos. Ella dice que en unos 3 meses, 4 meses, vamos a estar en ese 80. Así es que yo estoy listo para empezar. Corporate credit, is it only for LLCs or also corporations, C Corp, S Corp? Do they have also?
The only thing is a DBA is, you know, you're not getting any protection anyway. So go ahead and get the LLC. It usually is very affordable and you're really setting your business up correctly so you can have that corporate shield.
Okay. But DBA also qualify for credit or no? No, not really. It's personal. You're still personal.
Yeah, it's personal.
Yeah.
Business as is personal.
Yeah. Entonces, importante, si tú quieres tener crédito corporativo, olvídate de que yo trabajo con un DBA. Tienes que tener una corporación tipo C, tipo S o una LLC. No importa cuál sea, pero tienes que tener una de estas para que tú puedas tener score de crédito corporativo y los bancos y muchos proveedores te puedan abrir sus puertas al crédito y de esta manera crecer. Last question. I have a lot of guys, international guys from Latin America. They want to do business. They dream to conquer the American market with their product, with their services. They open LLCs online and they say, oh, I just have a mailbox and all these things. But those guys doing business like that do not have access to credit. The question is, since they don't have a green card or they are not US citizens, if they just have like a tourist visa, B1, B2 visa, those corporations still can develop corporate credit?
with us, we're going to wrap our arms around them and help them do that. Absolutely. If they have, the B2 is very popular, and we have that. If they have an LLC, but they must have a tax ID number and or an EIN number, that kind of thing, because the IRS is going to want their money. But all of a sudden, that same access that you would have, and it's fantastic. We really want to help the Hispanic community. We know that, they're the lifeblood of small businesses, and we want to help them get their capital that they need to be thriving businesses here.
That's amazing. Señores, esta es una gran oportunidad para negocios con dueños extranjeros. Si tú tienes una visa de turista y tienes una LLC, si tienes una corporación en Estados Unidos, tú también puedes desarrollar crédito corporativo. Tú también puedes tener un score de crédito que le permita a la empresa, a pesar que tú no tienes una residencia, una ciudadanía en Estados Unidos, recibir créditos a través de tu empresa y hacer crecer tu empresa en Estados Unidos. Si quieres saber más, tienes que mandarme mensaje, y si quieres saber más, tienes que estar en nuestra membresía conquistadoresdeamerica.com, porque ahí traemos expertos en temas como este, el crédito corporativo. Ginger, thank you so much for your time. I'm very excited. I'm gonna please beg you to be one more time, and actually we're gonna invite you to for a group of members where we discuss different subjects. We have master classes like every other week, and we really will appreciate if you can give us like more of this knowledge on how to develop credit, what kind of mistakes owners do, and why we don't have credit, how we can have credit. And at the same time, if anybody is interested right now to start their journey and they don't want to wait, I'm going to ask them. Llámame. Yeah, so we are going to ask them to send me a message so I can refer it to you. You can take care of them, and hopefully they can start right away.
Cool. And I've got two amazing, wonderful Spanish speaking, not assistants. They're also executive consultants. They know just as much or more than I do. So we'll take really good care of them in their language. So yes, please, I'd love to help as many as I can.
Well, thank you so much for being here, y gracias a todos los que nos han estado acompañando en este podcast de Conquistadores de América. Si tú tienes interés en desarrollar el crédito corporativo desde ya de tu empresa, mándame un mensaje para referirte con Ginger y con la empresa J Gold para que te ayuden desde ya, porque el tiempo es oro, y entre más rápido inicies, más rápido vas a poder acompañar o hacer crecer tu empresa. Y si tú quieres participar con nosotros, Ginger es uno de los invitados que estará explicando muchísimo más del crédito corporativo en nuestra membresía de Conquistadores de América. Ya lo sabes, soy Edmundo Treviño, y nuestra membresía mensual son $33, no es nada. Y por eso puedes tener acceso a muchas sesiones quincenales y algunas extra porque vamos a tener muchos invitados. De hecho, ya está el calendario de invitados y de temas que vamos a tratar en febrero y marzo, así es que no te lo puedes perder. Ve a conquistadoresdeamerica.com y ahí vas a poder ver toda la información. Inscríbete ya, porque son pocos los lugares que están a bajo costo. Después la membresía subirá de precio y nunca más volverá a estar a ese precio tan regalado. Ginger, thank you so much for your time, and looking forward to listen and learn more about corporate credit. We really needed it, and for sure is something that I'm excited about helping people, and I'm very excited that these can help us grow big time our businesses in the United States, and make that dream true, the dream of conquering America.
I love it. Can I repeat one of those things when I talked about my salespeople real bit, or is that,
Yes.
can you, okay, because I screwed that up. Well, one thing that I want to make sure that all your listeners know is that while I am not that great at Spanish, I have two amazing people in my office that are Hispanic. They're my, I call them my Spanish invasion, and they are going to help you from start to finish in your language. I'm getting better, but I don't trust myself with numbers. I may sell you a $5 million thing instead of a $5 thing. So we're going to let them do their business, but I am here for you, and I've got a team that is here for you. And I thank you so much.
Thank you. Y les traduzco lo que dice Ginger. Dice que tiene a 2 personas en su oficina que hablan perfecto español para que nos puedan ayudar. Y qué bueno que negocios como este están volteando a ver el mercado hispano, el mercado latino, y le dan la importancia de vida teniendo personas que hablan perfecto español y que los van a poder atender. Así es que si quieren hacer o ayudarse a sí mismos haciendo crecer su score de crédito corporativo, me manda mensaje para mandárselos a Ginger y su equipo de invasores en español.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ginger. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Bye.
Hasta la próxima. Esto es Conquistadores de América.